Well, I'll be urban people that wanted a tutorial, so I'm just gonna give it to you. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I cut this off. I used a pattern. Now, I said I don't do patterns, but that's the only pattern I use is right there. That's the one that's not in my head. Everything else is in my head. And there was this one lady that said, I'd like to know that pattern that's in your head. And I just love her. I mean, wasn't that sweet of her to think of me, like to think that I could do that. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just doing that. So I cut that bottom part off and then cut the double hemmed sections off on right here. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the sleeves. I tried a ruler and then that was math, and I don't do math, so then I just copied. And then what I'm doing here is I am sewing down just like a little old hem on the side so that it doesn't unravel. But this is going to be the part of the collar that I'm going to stuff into the other collar. And what I did was I just cut that collar off, and now I split the seam. And what I'm doing now is I put the left side in, the right side in, then I pinned it in the middle, and then I just start stuffing it in like Kleenex in a tissue box that people have already done. I mean, most people don't stick tissue in tissue boxes already done, so maybe like tissue in your pocket. Well, anyway, now I'm doing the hem, sewing that right on up. It's terrible, but now what I've realized is that you have to double row it like a Tootsie Roll or something. Well, I've done that. Well, then I'd sew this collar on, and I try to stay on the seam so that it's just the seam, but I made mistakes. I had to do it again. And I'm full of mistakes, y'all. That's what makes these things perfect, is they're full of mistakes. So anyway, I did it twice. And then I just looked at it and thought, look at this masterpiece. And then I added it to the shirt. And what I did on that shirt was phenomenal. It's nothing short of a miracle. But it's just sewing. And I think sewing is a miracle. And how this ever was invented, I'm proud of those people. And it appears that my video is backwards, but you know what? You get the idea. You're just pinning it on, sewing it on. This is the tutorial. There, see, there I go again. I just start sewing it on, and I sew this one on the hem too. I did it right one time, so I didn't have to do it twice, so that was good. Well, then, what I decided to do was my sleeves. So that's where I am right now, pinning these sleeves on. Now, I came into a rightful mess right through here. I had a whole lot of extra fabric because I eyeballed it and I didn't use that math. If I use math, I think it would work in my favor. But anyway, I sewed these on. I got real big darts. Look at those darts right there. They're huge darts, but they're cute. And this is a very lightweight, nice polo. This one I did the side tuck, but you can also untuck it. Look at there. And just let it hang. And there she is, the tutorial for all to see. All the love, the dart work, the sewing, the hemming on the collar, just a little bit of everything, just for you.